Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching, and today we are going to be making some delicious seitan buffalo wings from scratch. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you know that I'll be doing a live workshop about the 5 keys of vegan fat loss on March 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and if you want to sign up for that, I'd be so psyched if you came. It's going to be the top link down below me here. If you want to learn how I personally lost 90 pounds and built muscle and how we get our clients in the best shape of their life, you're going to want to show up for this webinar, and we will have a free gift for you there as well. So sign up down below, and I hope we see you there. Okay, so to get started with today's recipe, we are going to be making the seitan from scratch. You could skip this step entirely if you have a seitan brand that you love, but I like having control of the ingredients that I put in the seitan because it helps me with the flavors, the sodium, the macros, etc. So I like to make it from scratch. That's what we'll be doing. So I have 2 cups of Vital wheat gluten in here. Here I have my spice mix, and you can get creative with this, but this is 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, which is mostly just sage. So I'm gonna put that in there and whisk that together. Okay, now I have 2 cups of vegetable broth, and I am going to add that a little more than a cup at a time, so that's about 1.5 cups. I'm actually going to use a spoon for this. Eventually I'm going to have to use my hands. I'm looking for a very particular consistency. It's going to be rubbery, that's the nature of seitan, but I don't want it to be too wet or too dry. That's about another half cup. I might end up needing a little tiny bit more than what I have here. So I'm just kind of turning this over. And now for the last half a cup, dump that right on top. And now I'm going to move into using my clean hands here. So I'm going to squish that in. And it's a very sort of elasticy dough ball. Okay, make sure I got all the dry bits on there. Isn't that a nice sound? Are you guys enjoying that? So I'm going to transfer this to a cutting board. And I'm just going to knead this for about 2 minutes, and I'm going to knead it into a big fat log here. But behind me on the stove, I have a pot of water that I'm bringing to a boil. So you're going to want to get that going too. Can I have a knife in your hand?
Hold on.
Are you not sure if it's recording? So whatever size you cut the seitan, it's going to expand when we put it in the water. So I'm gonna cut these kind of smallish strips. I don't know, that's like a 1/2 inch maybe by however wide your log is. And I'm just gonna set that aside. So if anybody's watched my vegan jerky video, so far, very similar steps up to this point. That is my most popular video of all time. And it's particularly funny because I had it was my first YouTube video ever, and I had no idea what I was doing when I recorded it. So we have these really appetizing looking slabs of raw seitan here. So we have a ton of really appetizing slabs like this. And we have Joey, as usual, waiting for his food. So now we have this pot of boiling water. I am going to gently put these pieces one by one in the water and turn it down to like low medium. So this is kind of a lot, so make sure you have a big pot because like I said, they are going to expand. And we are going to let all of these pieces simmer with the top on for 45 minutes. So like I said, if you're crunched on time and you use West Soy or Upton's Naturals or Sweet Earth seitan instead, just use a plain seitan and you can skip this step entirely. Okay, now we're going to be making our buffalo sauce. And again, for many years, buffalo sauce was just Frank's Red Hot sauce to me. It wasn't until recently I realized people add other things to buffalo sauce. So, usually they add a crap load of butter, but we're not going to be doing that. We're just going to add a little bit. So I have 1 cup of Frank's Red Hot sauce here, 2 tablespoons of melted vegan butter. I'm using Earth Balance. 2 tablespoons of soy milk, and I'm about to commit a cardinal sin here. This is unsweetened vanilla soy milk because they didn't have the plain. Use plain, people. I have a spice mix here of a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder. And the last ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of maple syrup, which I am going to eyeball here. And I am just going to whisk all of this together. So now we're going to do the breading for the nuggets, and I am using 2 cups of chickpea flour, a teaspoon of garlic and onion powder, a teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper. And I'm just going to whisk that all together. Our seitan nuggets, they're not really nuggets, they're closer to steaks. I told you they would expand quite a bit. Are done. I drained them and then I let them cool for about 20 minutes because we're going to have to handle them so they can't be so hot that you can't touch them. I have 2 cups of water here and I am going to whisk it bit by bit into the batter until it's the right consistency. So again, I might not use it all here. So that's about a cup. Oh, we might just need a cup, actually. Nope. So because it's chickpea flour, it kind of absorbs slowly. So give it a couple seconds before you say, yeah, that's the right texture. So yeah, I'm actually going to use about 1 3/4 of a cup. Is going to get us right where we need to be. The irony of using a gluten-free breading on a big hunk of gluten, it's not lost on me. So I'm going to be air frying these pieces. If you don't have an air fryer or you want this to be a faster process, you could always bake them in your oven at 400 degrees, probably about 10 minutes, flip them over, bake them for another 10 minutes. But as you know, I'm an air fryer evangelist. And that is what I'm going to be using today. But that said, I'm going to have to do it in batches because you never want to crowd your air fryer. You always want to make sure the air can flow freely around. So this is probably going to be like 5 batches. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch all of that. I am just going to dredge this on both sides, just lightly in the batter. And then I'm going to plop it right in the air fryer. It's almost a man down situation. So again, I just want a really light coating on here. We just need something on the outside so that when we toss it in buffalo sauce at the end, it sticks. So I could probably fit 1 more in there, but I'm not going to get too fancy about it. I'm going to stick this in the air fryer on the potato setting for 12 minutes.
It's not plugged in.
Okay, so I have some pieces here. I'm going to put them in a bowl, a big bowl, and you can kind of hear how crispy they are, which is what we're going for. You might need to use some cooking spray in this and, you know, check on it halfway through. Every air fryer is a little bit different. Sometimes a little faster, some a little bit slower. And I'm going to start another batch, but before I do that, so you guys can see, I am going to add my buffalo sauce right on top. So this is about 2 tablespoons here. I'm going to drizzle it right on. Pretty good, actually. All right, guys, so these came out super, super good. I am really excited to try them, but obviously the way you cut them is going to change how many pieces you got. I got 28 pieces out of this, varying in sizes, but on average, each piece is 75 calories, 8 grams of protein, 6 grams of carbs, and like 1 gram of fat, which is super, super awesome for a delicious buffalo tender here. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoy this recipe. Please be sure to sign up for the 5 Keys to Vegan Fat Loss. Link is down below. And if you're interested in more recipes like this, come over to veganproteins.com, check out our academy. You get access to our exclusive app, all of our recipes, training scheduled in your app for you, live coaching calls. It's awesome. There's nothing else like it. Like and subscribe and all that stuff I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.